Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am going to be doing a very exciting video for you guys. I'm going to be doing a book haul, and it's a lot of books. I didn't count. I should have counted beforehand. So we're going to count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 25 books. We're going to be talking about 25 books in this video. I'm not going to go really too deep into the book's synopsis because some of them I don't know what they're about. But I'm going to try my best to pronounce everything correctly. If you've seen my other videos, you can tell that I have a little bit of a lisp, and I apparently don't know how to say people's names, you know? Sometimes I got the first names correct though. Hope you enjoy my content, and the very first book we're going to be talking about is The Beautiful, and it's by Renee Ahdieh. And then this one right now, I don't have the dust jacket on there. I'm currently reading it, as you can tell, for my October TBR, and I don't know if you can see, it has like the lion. Oh, I love this book without the dust jacket, let me tell you. Beautiful. But this is vampires in New Orleans. And then I think it's the 1960s, 1970s. No, the 1800s. If that tells you anything. But so far I'm liking it. It is, I want to say there's going to be some romance in here, but it's spooky, and right now I'm glad I picked it up for October, and I can't wait to keep reading on about it. This is one of those books that all you have to know about it is there's vampires in New Orleans. There may be some romance, but there is some spooky, creepy stuff happening as well. And I'll insert the dust cover here so you guys can see it, and hope you guys pick this up. I'm so excited. I grabbed this the day that it came out. I work at a Starbucks Barnes & Noble, so they had it ready to go on the shelves, and I just took it and saying that I was gonna buy it, and I bought it. So that's the first book. you're gonna see it. I'm gonna put it up here. I have it. That's where I keep my books that I'm reading for October. And the next book I'm gonna be talking about is gonna be Illuminated by J. Kristoff, and I got this couple weeks ago, and it is supposed to be a sci-fi book, and it's written in mixed media, so you have like different maps and stuff like that. If you hear a little kid, that's my son. He's in the restroom. And the reason why I got this is because Becca in the Books, she started reading it, and she said that she's loved it. Have read his Nevernight series. I have Dark Dawn that I still need to read, but I decided to pick it up because of her, and hopefully I get to read it soon. I was supposed to read it a couple months ago, but I couldn't get into it because I was like, I forgot what came out. I think it was like Wicked Fox or something came out, and like I had to read it, and I kind of like did too many books at that month where I was just like, whoa, have to slow down. But definitely can't wait to get into this. A lot of people say that the best way to read the Illuminate files is to do the audiobook and then read it with it. I am not a person that likes audiobooks, so hopefully I still love it with just reading it. And then the next book on my haul, it's gonna be Lifelike by J. Kristoff, and I got this book from a Facebook group. This girl was selling it for $10, and the first thing that caught my eye was the fact that it was a hardcover, and it is in great condition. There's like nothing wrong with it at all, but as well that it came with a signed book plate. I got into J. Kristoff by reading Nevernight, and I never have read this series before. I've heard great things, so I can't wait to read it. I believe it's a sci-fi book as well. This book is about Eve, and her grandmother is like at the point of dying and they don't have enough credits, which I'm guessing is their like money system in this world. And she ends up meeting a android boy. I believe his name is Ezekiel. Yeah, Ezekiel. And that's basically all I know about this book. And I'm glad, because I like to go into J. Kristoff's books not knowing much into it. So I'm excited to read this book. And it does have a sequel. It's called Deviate. And I still need to get the hardcover edition of it. But I also want to read this one to see if I'm gonna like the actual series themselves. J. Kristoff has yet to disappoint me, so I'm excited. And the next book that we're gonna be talking about is Three Dark Crowns. And last month I went to Epic Reads. They had a signing for 3 specific authors, which was Kendar Blake, Sarah Rosh, and there was actually 4. Rena Brown from The Kingdom of Souls, and also Shelby Mahurin for The Serpent and Dove. Okay, but I got to meet Kendar Blake. I haven't picked up this series because I didn't know much about it. All I knew was it was 3 sisters. They were fighting for the crown, and they have to kill each other until one is the reigning queen. And in this island, they have like magical creatures that are with them, and so the sisters have to kill each other and all that stuff. That's the only thing I knew about it. I've seen many people read it and say good things about it, but it never caught my eye until I went to that kind of meetup and I got to speak to the author, and she like was so passionate about her book, and like all the other people that were there to see her as well. And I was just like, okay, I have to pick it up. I have to do it. I have to pick it up. So I am going to be reading this for next month, which I am excited. And I also got it personalized, and hopefully I get to meet her again next year, because she's coming out with a standalone novel. She only gave little snippets of it, but I'm super excited. I'm super excited, and I hope to speak to her next year, and hopefully I have read all of her books and get to talk more about it. She was amazing. And then the next book we're going to be talking about, which is from the same meetup, and it's Rena Barron from Kingdom of Souls. I know I said her name wrong before, my bad. You see, this is going to be a lot of this, but this one has like witch doctors and kind of like a spooky element, and in the back it says, I once laughed at stories about demons, now I know that one may walk in my shadows. So I believe the main character comes from a family of witch doctors that contain like all this supernatural magic, and she doesn't have any at all, and her family members are waiting for her to get her magic, and they get disappointed every single time. So she decides to get her magic by the last mean possible, which is blood magic, and she has to sacrifice something to get that magic. And then as that is happening, a evil decides to come out, and I believe it's the Demon King or something like that. But this is something that I really want to read. I have it on my October TBR. Hopefully I can get to it. I am reading these 2 right here, which is City of Ghosts by V. Schwab and The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. But hopefully I can get to this. I can't wait. It's a thick one. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I got a lot of stuff going on in my life, but hopefully I can squeeze it in. The next book we're gonna be talking about is the very first book that I have from my October TBR, and that is A Curse So Dark and Lonely, which I finished. Just to give you a heads up. This book, so good, so good. But it's A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I think I got her name wrong when I did my Spooktober, and now hopefully I got her name right. And this is about a girl named Harper and a guy named Ren. Ren is the Prince of Emberfall, and he is the one that is cursed, and he is on his last season of his curse that he needs to break. And if he doesn't break it, something bad will happen to not only him, but to his kingdom. Harper, unbeknownst, comes across the curse and the prince and another person. I love the fact that it does talk about cerebral palsy, and because before coming into this book, I had just like one direct kind of meaning to cerebral palsy, and it definitely opened my eyes to that. Just because you have a certain disease or anything like that doesn't mean that it's supposed to stop you. But I definitely recommend you guys pick this up. I'm so glad I picked it up. And I got this again from a Facebook group. A lady was selling it for $10, and it's like in pristine edition. It's definitely, you could definitely tell that it got read a couple times. The pages are nice and loose and stuff like that, but some good stuff. And then the next one I got is The Bone Houses, and this one you would see, I got it in my October All Crate, and it's by Emily Lloyd Jones. Ooh. But this one's supposed to be about gravediggers, and our main character, that is her job. And the bone houses are people that don't stay dead, and that's all I know about this book. But it's supposed to be creepy and that type of book, and this is on my October TBR, and I'm definitely gonna get to it. It's not a very big book. I'm guessing after these two I'm gonna get into this one. I do have another book that I'm gonna be talking about in this haul that I want to get to after these, because it's not a big book either, but hopefully I can get these two read, this one, and then the next one that I'm gonna be talking about a little bit on here. There's a couple books in front of that one. But this is a exclusive edition. If you go to buy it at the store, it would be a black cover with the gold, and then the lettering will be gold as well. I am more particular to this one than I am to the other one, and also the fact that it came with its own bookmark, you know, kind of helps it. And then this is signed by the author, and it does contain a author letter. And then this is actually the way that it looks. I can't wait. And I can't wait to read it. The next book we're going to be talking about is, again, this author hasn't disappointed me. And this is the third in the series. And it's Dark Dawn. So this one's definitely next month to read. This month I have God's Grave on my TBR. That one is going to be the one that I read slowly throughout the month. Because that's the type of book that I don't want to, like, oh, I have a week left of October, I have to read it really fast. Like, that one I want to take my time. I want to make sure that I'm, like, reading all the, like, if it has footnotes, because I know Nevernight had its footnotes. But if that one had footnotes, I want to take my time and, like, understand the story and know everything little chunk by chunk. Because I know in Nevernight I had to, like, go back and make sure that I read everything correctly. But this one, this baby right here, is the last one in the Nevernight trilogy. I've heard some very heart-wrenching things about it, and I am so not ready for this book at all. But I'm excited to read it. I'm excited to see where Mia goes in her adventure and what happens in the end of the adventure. And then this one I got the day it came out, Barnes & Noble, and it's a signed first edition. Let's see. Oh, yes. By Mr. J. Kristoff. And I can't wait to read it. I'm so excited to get to it. I'm a little scared to get to it, I'm not gonna lie. But I got this. And then the next book we're gonna be talking about is, drumroll, I think a lot of people have this in their anticipated reads for this year, but that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I have read her other books, all except King of Scars, Six of Crows, and Crooked Kingdom. I need to read those, but we're not talking about that. But Ninth House is her first adult fantasy, and this one is set in Yale, in New Haven, Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut. Another check why I had to read it, you know. I had to do it. And this one's supposed to be about secret houses in Yale University and how the main character is supposed to like be in charge or protecting them, but she gets to see the darkness of it, and it's all I know about it. And I have heard some mixed reviews about this book, but then I've seen that so many of the booktubers that I look at, that I know that their book recommendations are some books that I absolutely love, have read this book and said, like, if you go into it with a mindset that it's gonna be like her YA series, then you're not gonna like it. But if you go with a fresh, open mind and you can deal with the harsh topics that are in this book, then you're gonna love it. And I also can't wait to read it and to dive in. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to read it, but I'm just glad that I have a copy, and I get to call it my own. All of my books are like my babies, so that's why I hold them tight. And I'm like, And the next book I'm gonna read is the book that I said that I want to read after these and before Baugh, which is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. Sorry, but this one Becca on the Books is reading right now for October, her October TBR, and Gavin, another booktuber, gave it to her, and when she was reading about it and she was reading the synopsis, I was like, oh, I gotta put that in my Amazon list, and like I'll read it when I get to it. But my store ended up getting it, and I was like, I have a discount, I'll grab it, I'll read it. And I read, I'm on page 20, and I like it. It's definitely different. I'm not a type of person that likes to read like horror or like anything like that. I'm more of a fantasy, YA contemporaries, Twilight, Mortal Instruments type of gal. So I can't wait to read something different. And this one's about two girls, and one of the girls gets possessed, and this talks about her exorcism. And that's basically all I know about this one. That's all I kind of want to know about it. The beginning pages started already like kind of messed up. Like the main character, the people around her, her school friends, and like all that stuff. It's already messed up. And this is supposed to be set around the 1980s. And I don't know if you can tell, but the cover is customized to be like a VHS tape. Like, I don't know how many of you guys gonna know what a VHS tape is. I do, because I was born. You know what? I'm not gonna put my age out there. Alright. So the next book that I'm gonna be talking about is another horror. And this is gonna be a Penguin's horror classic, which is The Haunting of Hill House. This one came in my October All Crate. And another one that is set in Connecticut, which I find it funny, like, I got some scary books set in Connecticut. But this one I don't know that much about. I know there's a series on Netflix on it, and a lot of people have liked it. I'm excited to read it and excited to know what it's about. It does have gray spread edges, and then the inside has like the title on the sides, which I like. And then it's not a big book. It's small, and I can't wait to read it. The next book I'm gonna be showing you guys is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. And then this one I got at a secondhand shop. It is an adult romance, and I've seen Chelsea Dolan Reeves and Haley from Haley Bookland talk about this book and saying that it's a really good book. I'm excited to read it. I have read adult romance, and I absolutely adore all the adult romance and raunchy, smutty action, all that good stuff. and hopefully I get to it soon. And the main kind of concept of this is the main character, she absolutely hates the guy interest, and now they have to go for the same promotion in their job, and now they get to see, like, is it really hate or is it really love or lust? But that's the main concept of that book. The next book I'm going to be showing you guys is Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And this one I got because of the booktuber A Clockwork Reader. She absolutely loves this book and adores it. And I know right now that she's going to be reading Erin's next book, which is The Starless Sea. And I just want to see what the hype is all about and get to read it and enjoy it. All I know is about a circus and magic, and I think that's it. That's all I know about it, but I'm excited to read it. And the next book I'm going to be talking about is a series. I got them both at the same time, and that's Baugh and Legendary. You guys have seen this because I've already read this one. I read it last month, and this is about two sisters that go to this island with a guy, and the island hosts this game. I think it's like every year, and they got to be in the game. And that's all I'm gonna tell you because you don't need to know much about this series. You kind of gotta leave it there. But Legendary is the sequel, and we get to see more of the sisters and more of the plot getting thicker. And this is on, hopefully going to be on my next month's TBR. I want to read this and get to finale in December. So if everything goes well with my October TBR, then I shall be reading this next month. And then the next book we're going to be talking about is, I didn't know this author came out with another book. You'll see which author I'm going to be talking about, which is Stephanie Meyer. I know she came out with The Host after the Twilight books, but I didn't see that she came out with another book called The Chemist. This one's an adult book, I believe, and it's kind of a mind-bender, kind of action-filled book. I was at work, I was on break, I didn't bring any book with me, and I started to read it, and I got about 19 pages in, and it sounds good. All I know is the main character is running away from the government, and she knows all these like confidential things, and that is it. She worked at a lab, hence The Chemist. But that's it. That's all I know about it. The next book I'm going to be talking about is my all-time favorite book of 2019. That's it. Numero uno. That's it. That is Serpent and Dove. As I said, for Three Dark Crowns and Kingdom of Souls, I got to meet the author, and this is the main reason why I went to that sign up, was to meet Shelby and to tell her about her amazing book. I got it the day that it came out, got a ticket for the signing, and I read it before the signing, and I fell in love. Like, absolutely in love with this book. This book is amazing. And what you need to know about this book is that it has witches, it has witch hunters, and it has thievery, and it has a romance that it is to die for. I hate to love romance. Like, this is the book that you want to read this year. Like, I totally recommend it. This is my favorite book of all time right now. Like, it kind of bumps Twilight to the side. Nothing would ever touch Harry Potter. Like, nothing. Like, I have a tattoo right here of Harry Potter. Like, nothing would touch that. But it's close. It's close. I'm not gonna lie, it's close. The next one I'm gonna be talking about, I read for, you might have seen it in my contemporary-a-thon on my Instagram, and that is Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Shelley. Of course, you've seen my rant in my bargain books video about this author and how I absolutely loved Emergency Contact, so I had to get her next one. This one's about a boy named Pablo. Hopefully I said that name correctly. Yeah, Pablo and a superstar. Their relationship building and how they get to know each other, and his life and what he's going through right now, and how he's like stuck a little bit. And again, I absolutely adore the way that Mary H.K. Show writes her book. This is definitely a really good book to read. It relates to people in their 20s, and it's more like adultish, like definitely young adult, like 18, 19, 20s type of book. Definitely read it. Definitely read it. The next book we're going to be talking about, I know it's been a lot of book. We've been through a long journey already. We have about 7 more books to go. We got this. I'm starting to get dry. I need my coffee, but it's over there somewhere. I'll grab it later. Next book we're going to talk about, I haven't seen a lot of people talk about this book, but it's Eve of Man by Giovanna and Tom Fletcher. They're a couple. They're a married couple, and they wrote this book together. And it's supposed to be a sci-fi book, and the main character is supposed to save the life of humans, but she has a choice whether either to save everyone or to love this person. And apparently, if she chooses the wrong one, then we are all in a high risk of dying or something like that. But that's all I know. Like right here it says, how do you choose between love and the future of the human race? Like, what? I haven't heard many things about it. I haven't heard like many of my other booktubers talk about this book. I am excited to read it, and this is what I do when I go on my break, but I read a couple pages of it. I got to, I believe, chapter 3, just like 30 pages into it, and it was a good book already, so I'm excited to read it. And it's gorgeous. Like, look, this was definitely like a cover buy. Like, I sat down, I saw the cover, I was like, ooh, next book, and then I got it. And I also am a big fan of the book without the dust jacket. Like, that's gorgeous. But I definitely can't wait to read it. I think I've said that about every single book here. But I definitely can't wait to read it and to learn more about it and to tell you guys about it, because I know not a lot of people have read this book. So hopefully you guys get to see something new. The next one you're gonna see everywhere, because this was like the hype book of, like, I think September or August or something like that. But it's Sorcery of Thorns. I got this. This was the Owl Crate exclusive edition of their library one, and it's a purple edition. I know the regular one, I think it's like bluish one, or it looks like this kind of. But this is the Owl Crate out letter, and it is signed by the author. And I have already read this book. I love this book. You're gonna see a lot of people have like mixed feelings about this book and its stories. It was super hype. Like, everybody wanted to read this book, and I'm a part of the hype. Like, I absolutely love this book. It's definitely one of those books, like, some people might not like the concept of it. If you have a specific like mindset of what kind of books you like, but overall, really good book. And I don't want to tell you much about it, because it's better to go into this book not knowing much, and I'm gonna let you know that you get so attached to the characters. The romance in this book, it's not like the main part of it. It's not like the main drive of this book. The main thing about this book is the plot, and it is what happens to certain people in this book that like break your heart. But that's all I'm gonna tell you about that book. The next book is a sequel, and it is The Dragon Republic. And the first book is The Poppy War. And this one came out last month, I think it is. But it's a chunker. The first book was like super thin. It was like half of this or something, like that much. This one's like huge. But this book is more based off war and tactical, and it does have a magic system. It's definitely an adult book. You definitely have cussing, and you definitely have like hit in your face type of scenarios. So overall, The Poppy War, it is a dense book. You get a lot of the world building and everything like that. So be aware when you walk into this, you are going to learn a lot about what happens in war in this book, and what happens in the war, and then what happens to the main character as she tries to get into a prestigious school, and what's going on in her life and all that stuff, and the struggles that she goes through. And the author's name is R.F. Kuang. Hopefully I said that correct. And definitely pick it up. I can't wait to read it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read it soon, but I'm like, oh, I want to read it so bad. The next book is, I believe, one of my most anticipated reads of the year, next to like Serpent and Dove and like the other ones. I have like a whole list of like books that I wanted to read this year. But that is the sequel to Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. It's called Wayward Son. I definitely said her name wrong. Rainbow Rowell? Rowell. Alright, it's by Rainbow. And it's Wayward Son, and this is the sequel of Carry On, which I believe I want to say is the third book, because the first book is Fangirl. You want to read Fangirl first, then you want to read Carry On, and then you want to read Wayward Son. You don't have to read Fangirl to read Carry On, but you get more of the story if you read Carry On, if you read Fangirl and then Carry On. But this is more about Simon and Bass, and I absolutely love it. It's like romantic fantasy. Like, you can't go wrong with that. Like, come on. The next one's another Owl Crate. Well, the next two are going to be Owl Crate editions. The first one is Spin the Dawn. Oh, look at it. Look at it. It's so beautiful. And this one's a Mulan-inspired fantasy where the main character is sort of like a seamstress, and she has to fight to get into her position that she wants. But in order to do that, she has to dress up as a man. And that's all I know. I know it's been said that it's like Mulan meets Project Runway, which I haven't seen Project Runway, but I love Mulan, so I can't really like, but I was supposed to read this last month, but I didn't get a chance to, and like I didn't get that like, ooh, I want to pick it up right now. I got that more for like the Serpent and Dove. I got that more for Permanent Record and stuff like this, but I do want to read this so bad. So bad. The next one up is House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig. And this one's supposed to be a retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses or something like that. And it's supposed to be like gory and like horror-ish, but like also have romance in there. I don't know much about it, but I want it to stay like that. The average rating I think was like a 3.5, and that really doesn't like make me not want to read it, but it's definitely not like on my highest priority to read it, but I am gonna read it, like, no lie. And the next one is the paperback edition of a book that I've been waiting for a very long time, and that is Queen of Air Darkness. And the reason why I was waiting for this so long is because of that. I have all of the Mortal Instruments, the Clockwork, and Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows all have like this like illustration on the spine, and this is the one that I've been waiting for so I can finish it. And now I have all of them. And then if you guys don't know, this is the third series in the Mortal Instrument series, because you have the Mortal Instruments, the Infernal Devices, and then the Dark Artifices. And this is the third and the final book in that series. I know she's coming out with another one. I think it's called The Chain of Gold something, which of course you know I'm gonna get it. Like, it's Cassandra Clare. Like, I'm gonna get it. Like, yeah, like Holly Black, you're gonna get the new Queen of Nothing when it comes out. But I can't wait to read it. I have to read the Infernal Devices and then read these. Like, I know she has a specific order to read all of these, but I like to do it all in numerical order. Blah, 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 blah. I can't talk. I apologize. But I can't wait to read it. I'm so excited. I have the last one, and then on my bookcase, it looks all pretty. Like, all the spines look perfecto. But this one's, I'm to be honest with you, I can't wait to read this one. This one's like paperback edition is like almost 900 pages. I know the hardcover is around the same thing too, so I'm guessing they just like made the font like a little smaller so they can have like the same type of width. But I can't wait to read it. Definitely read the Mortal Instruments, then the Infernal, where it's like Mortal Instruments and Infernal Devices, and then these. Like, don't hop into this book thinking that you're gonna read it. Like, that's not how it goes. Trust me, it's not how it goes. You're gonna get super spoiled for the other series. But that is all 20-something books that I got to tell you about. If you've gotten to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you clicking on the video and watching me mutilate names and being awkward and just giving you guys something to watch. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment so I can like talk to you guys, and we can talk about how I don't know how to talk in videos. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.